Alright, what is up, guys? It's PiaCRT back with part 2 of my playthrough of my own game. So, if you didn't catch the last episode, it'll be just before this video if you go onto my channel. Y'all are doing alright. Changed some things up, so hopefully I sound a little clearer than I did in the last video. Game audio should be down a little bit, and the lighting should be better. I actually just got a ring light, so, yeah. I think it looks good so far, so I guess we'll see after post-processing how good it really looks. So, we left off after beating the second gym leader, and we got the Poke-Flute from Misty. So, our next order of business is, we're going to move on to the 7 Grapefruit Islands. I had to wait till late to record this today because my family is very loud, so I had to wait for everybody to go to bed, so I apologize it's coming out so late. I wanted to do this earlier, but I just can't talk without being interrupted. So unfortunately I did have to record these videos late at night. So when I originally developed this area, I wasn't too sure what I was going to do. In the anime, I believe they come here and they find like a bunch of grapefruits on the island, and I think a Snorlax is eating them. But it's called the 7 Grapefruits, but I believe they're only on one island of the 7 Grapefruit Islands. So, basically it's one map, but I tried to add 7 bodies of land to signify the 7 islands. This is probably an area I will revisit in the future. I'm not too fond of it. It's pretty, poorly done, in my opinion. So, as you can see, like, this is an island. Okay. There's a shop here. I believe he only sells grapefruits. Yeah. So like, it's basically the Orange Islands version of the Rage Candy Bar, the Lava Cookie, etc. Except this one, it just heals. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think there might be an NPC later on that's looking for one, so it's good to have. So the only advantage of having so many water types in Orange is the fact that you can make the wild variation a bit better. You gotta remember, there's going to be diving in this game. You can dive in quite a few places, and there's also fishing. So I had to have a large amount of water types so that you weren't encountering nothing but Tentacle and Wingull all game. So you have some variation just about everywhere. I hope that makes the game a little better for some of you that don't like all the surfing. Again, I've tried everything I can to make surfing as easy as possible, so it no longer prompts you to, if you want to use surf every time you talk to a body of water. Encounter rates are only 1% on the water, and obviously you have some variations, so not every route is Wingull and Tentacle. So anyway, this is Snorlax here. He's a really strong with the new moveset what that cat put in, so it's actually pretty disgusting, actually quite good to have. So when you talk to him, this was actually one of the first events that I went back and reworked completely. So before, it's pretty basic. It just checked for the Poke-Flute in your inventory, and then you went into a battle instantly. So, plays the song. A lot of the inspiration for this actually came from Coral Dev with this game, Pokemon Coral. Just some comedy. Alright. This is the Pokemon Blue sprite for Snorlax. So, paint me like one of your French girls. You know how it goes. Okay. Can't remember if Snorlax is physical or special defense, so I don't think it matters. I think everything I have is physical. Go ahead and try a slam. It's gonna miss. We need to try to keep him asleep. He does have leftovers, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. He woke up immediately. Not lovely. He's using Amnesia, so we're just going to try to Thunder Punch him down a bit. It's not going to work out for us. Alright. So... and while he's asleep, let's try to throw a fuse around him. So he is gonna end up spamming. Looks like. Alright, that's what we were trying to get with the Paralesis. So I don't think we're really gonna be able to get him any lower than that. So what we're going to do is just hope for the best. Alright, Ultra Ball saved the day. Well, let's check out his moveset. Doesn't look too good right now, but Headbutt is a pretty strong ability, just low accuracy, and then Belly Drum, of course, really good move. Cuts your HP in half and raises your attack to the maximum. So I believe very soon he will also learn some moves that make him pretty gross, like Sleep Talk and Snore. Again, it has been a while since I ran through my own game, so I don't remember everything. If we want to, we can pick up a good rod here. These are some older scripts. I don't think this town's been updated at all since I added it. This was Alpha? I think, yeah, I think this is Alpha, the second Alpha released. So it's also very old, probably early 2017. And this is where the game stopped. I don't think anything here was scripted yet. This is the Headbutt Tutor, the first move tutor I added to Orange. Anyway, to get things kicked off here, there is a museum here. If you ever watch the anime, you might know what this is about. Team Rocket stole a trophy that was owned by a previous Orange Islands champion. And your quest is to go find it and bring it back. Now, with that said, this is technically optional. You don't have to come back and return the trophy. It's just Officer Jenny here will give you Fly when you do return that trophy, so it's definitely worth doing. So you have some fast travel, because you never know with my game. I could add a trainer battle that wasn't coded properly with the blackout, and you end up getting sent all the way back to Valencia. That has happened a few times in the past, and I'm sure it'll happen again, because even I still make mistakes, especially with scripting. I just fixed some bugs this morning, actually, that was causing crashes because I forgot to add a couple commands to a text script. So, now I did add these second levels to the gatehouses. They're very reminiscent of Red and Blue. In fact, these are all tiles from Red and Blue. So, every binocular is interactable with. They all have something interesting or unique. Now, something I did start to implement was a lot of these guards will battle you at nighttime. I don't think I ever got around to scripting all of them to have nighttime battles, so might be something to revisit in the future. Alright, and this is the first time we meet Jesse and James in the game. Now, funny story, when I originally added this, because I had removed some of the original music from Crystal, it ended up corrupting the Team Rocket theme, because I guess it was depending on another song that I had removed. So instead of fixing it, I just added the Pokemon Yellow Team Rocket theme. So anytime Team Rocket appears, this is the only team that'll be playing for them, unfortunately. Hopefully, I just had my
microphone turned to the side, so hopefully you all have been hearing me this entire time. They're just practicing their motto. Don't worry, I don't make them say it every time. They do try the next time you see them, but you interrupt them. Okay. Now, as soon as you get dive, definitely recommend coming back here and just diving under there. There is a shipwreck from that champion that I mentioned. If you ever watched the anime, they basically go to an abandoned shipwreck where they found the trophy, and there's some ghost-type Pokemon there. There's a very special Generation 7 ghost-type there. And this island, this route feels a lot shorter than I remember it to be, so... This is Golden Island. It's a bunch of people that are worshipping Meowth. Now, in the anime, they don't have cat ears or anything. That's just a little touch I added because I thought it would be cool. So I had originally made these statues, basically just taking the art from the anime and trying to make a tile out of it. These that you're seeing are actually really polished. Jay Steen actually went back and revised and came out with this, so really happy with this. This island looks absolutely amazing, especially compared to how it looked originally. I think these are from Ruby and Sapphire, the Pacific Log Tone. Anyway, there's some good stuff here. There's the Quick Claw. Come over here. And there's the Amulet Coin. And I believe you can get another Citrus Berry here. Right behind this house. Now, I did rework this here. So, if you remember, there was a house north of Mauville City, I think it was called, the Electric Gym in Ruby and Sapphire, where you could battle this family one by one. I basically recreated that here. Let me make sure it works. I'm going to save just in case there's something wrong with it. But I did rework this recently. Okay. Yeah. So, what I did was, originally it was a trade for a Meowth after you saved the village, where he would give you a Mr. Mime. I didn't think that was good, so I changed it to, you have to bring a Meowth and basically just show it to him, and then everything opens up here. So, you used to be able to do this as soon as you entered, now you have to come back and bring a Meowth and show it to the Elder before you can do this. That does not work as it should at the moment, because there's no vanilla script in Pokemon Gold and Silver that takes a Pokemon out of your party, aside from the Shuckle in, was it Cyanwood? And we tried recreating that, but it's extremely buggy. I think it was corrupting Pokemon in the party and stuff, so it's in the game right now, but it does not work properly. I wouldn't do it. It's at risk of your save file, so keep that in mind. I've had some tests where nothing happens, and then people have reported me that it completely broke their team, so work in progress. But what it is, it's a cool idea. What I might have to end up doing is just make it so you show the Meowth to the Elder and he doesn't take it away from you. That might be the best way to do it. Okay, they're gonna go in there. This used to just be an old guy, but apparently I changed it. Now the Burn Tower music plays in here. I don't remember why I set this up, and people keep telling me to fix it, and I just don't. So I need to take a look at that. I think what I wanted it to do was play the Team Rocket theme and then change after you beat them, but that requires some scripting, so just something I haven't gotten around to. But I am aware of it, so if you are watching this video, please don't report this as a bug. I do know about it. I think this was the first script I had to have multiple people move, and you're gonna see a lot of that from here on out. Unfortunately, I think like for Gen 3 hacking, you can have multiple people move at the same time. That's not possible in Gen 2. At least not by default. I'm sure it might be possible. Alright. I think there's a better sprite for them at this point. I'll have to take a look. So, this is one of the first difficult fights, because they're pretty high leveled. Actually, Weeping Bell is not going to cut it here, so we're going to go ahead and send out Onyx. Yeah. Because of that. And we're going to go ahead and just throw a couple Screeches, because we're not going to do any damage. I think the best thing to do here, Belly Drum. And then we're going to headbutt his Pokemon to death. Nope. We definitely want to learn Razor Leaf. Get rid of Vine Whip. And hopefully we can just have Snorlax sweep their team. Alright. Yeah. Snorlax MVP. He asks you to bring a Meowth when you get a chance. You will not be able to catch a Meowth until after the 3rd gym. However, at that point you can catch one. And I did try to balance the Battle House around that. The rebalancing, of course. So from here, of course, you're going to go back, because we do want to fly HM, so we don't have to walk back and forth anymore. Because after this, there's a little more backtracking. Not too much. I don't like backtracking in my games, so there's not too much of it. But, for example, after the 3rd gym, it's just nice to be able to fly away instead of having to walk back to the port to get back to Trovitopolis. And of course, from Trovitopolis, you have to go back to basically the 2nd gym to progress through the game. Okay, we're gonna go in here. But we don't give it to him. We have to give it to Officer Jenny here. Now, it has occurred to me that a little suspicious for someone to be just walking in, handing back the trophy, and getting a reward for it. Well, maybe Officer Jenny didn't consider that a 10-year-old might have been the one to steal it. Alright. So I couldn't get the stuff to appear immediately, but if you walk out of the building and then back in, or maybe not. Okay, the trophy is back. There are supposed to be NPCs here. I hope they just haven't randomly broken. That would be unfortunate. I might take a look at that. There are supposed to be some NPCs in here. Interesting what crops up over time, huh? Anyway. Yep, just some custom scripts in here because I wanted to make this cool, but yeah, there are supposed to be NPCs here, and I don't believe the curator is supposed to be behind the counter anymore, so interesting. Actually, let me take a look at that real quick while it's on my mind. The script is intact. I don't know why it's not working. That's strange. I'm going to take a look at that later. That shouldn't be happening. Anyway, do we even have a Pokemon that can use Fly? No, but once Charmeleon evolves, we'll be good. So we won't worry about it too much. In fact, why don't we go ahead and put him in the front of the party so we can start leveling him? Okay. So this is a route for sure. Some big, tall mountains. Rock climb is not currently available in the game. It is a post-game HM. But you can see there are bridges that are functioning, like in Gen 4. I'm just going to set our spawn point here because there is a rival battle here. Now this lady gives you a lucky egg. Someone suggested I swap that with an item from later on, just so that you can't get a lucky egg too early, because this does make the game extremely easy. Yeah, we're gonna have him hold the lucky egg. Ooh. Yeah, so as you can see, at this point, we are getting really under-leveled here. This battle is normally, like, nothing crazy, so... I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and swap the Snorlax and try a belly drum setup again. Okay, Charmeleon wants to learn a Flamethrower. Go ahead and get rid of Ember for that. Okay. We still do really good damage, but unfortunately, he does have Rock Smash. We'll go ahead and try to Razor Leaf. Alright, we were able to get it off. That's awesome. He's gonna send out Flareon next, so... Rock Throw. Yeah, it's not gonna do enough damage. Okay. Ooh, okay. We have revives, so go ahead and revive Charmeleon here. He does have Skarmory, so we should be able to deal with this really easily. Yeah. Okay. And there's our Charizard. Honestly, we don't even need Wing Attack. Because we are going to teach it Fly. And I guess we should probably get rid of Flame Wheel. We're also going to heal up real quick, because we did get a beating from that. Now, nothing too interesting in this town. I'm going to show off the Pinkin Pharmacist, because I did change the script recently. Alright. Beforehand, he didn't check to see if your inventory was full, so he would say, make sure you have room in your inventory. No longer the case. He does check now. If you don't have enough space, he'll tell you to make some room before he makes it, and then, of course, then he will make the pink cure. So, if I go ahead and We have our Lapras here, who is pink. And we use our pink here on Lapras. Because Lapras is no longer pink. And there we go, we have our normal Lapras back. So there's some grass in this town, and you can find Ditto and Scyther here. Originally, you could do breeding in this game. It had way too many bugs, though, just the daycare itself. The daycare broke over time, so whenever we do move this to the Ancient Engine, that shouldn't be a concern anymore. Something I want to revisit is the Unnamed Island down here. So, originally I was going to add a fishing contest here that you could have with other people. By altering the bug catching contest code. However, it was giving me a little too much trouble, so that was scrapped. There was a building that you couldn't enter for a long time. People kept asking what it was, and that was kind of creepy, so it's no longer there. I would like to do something with this later on. This is the only place that you can find wild quillfish, though, by fishing in that area. So I'll show you that area real quick since I'm right here. I think there might still be an NPC here left over from that. It sure is. This is a World of Warcraft reference here. Don't expect too many people to know that one. Okay. Some Pokemon only live in this area. That is referring to quillfish, so we're going to go ahead and fly back to Murcott, and then we should be free to go to the next area. We do have another rival battle coming up. Huh. Okay. Apparently I didn't make this open. You know what? I did change this map a bit because people were skipping Murcott entirely. It is an optional area, but again, there is a rival fight there, so I know about it, so I do visit it myself. But originally this was an area where you had to dive, and I completely removed the dive area, so I just changed the map around a little bit to make it a little more linear. Anyway, this is, I went really ham on these huge cliff tiles, so there are cliffs everywhere on this route. Gen 7 Pokemon. I don't think we're going to be able to skip this trainer here, so mandatory fight. Go to old hypnosis. I don't have any fighting moves, so oh wow, okay. I forgot about Paris song. Okay, might as well clear the path in case there's any more trainers out this way. There is a random... Okay, skippable. Okay. I think that's Earthquake. Alright. Don't know if I'll be able to do this without Charizard, but... And Charizard is now at a sufficient level, so we're gonna have to take that lucky egg away. Lapras needs the most help, and it does require the most experience to level up. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Lapras the lucky egg. Go ahead and give Charcoal back to you. I suppose you can take the amulet coin. There we go. Okie doke. Why don't we go ahead and open with Snorlax. Okay, it is using Fly, so we're gonna go ahead and swap the Onyx. Okay. Well, it's gonna spam Fly. I don't know if we have anything to outspeed it. Really unlucky. Okay. So unfortunately, we just didn't have anything to outspeed that, so we did unfortunately take an L to Tracy. However, this time we'll have Charizard, so hopefully it does a little bit better. Okay. We're gonna switch to a speedier Pokemon. I would not mind that move. Let's go ahead and get rid of Slam. Okay, hopefully Charizard can outspeed this. Yes. Except of course it's gonna do that. Doesn't matter, still beat it. Alright, he does have Ampharos, so that'd be a good time to try a Snorlax. Maybe not. Oh, okay, we got it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. That is fine. Let's go ahead and swap here and Flamethrower it. Okay, so this next area, this is the Mandarin Desert. The encounter rate is pretty gross here. So we are gonna go ahead and pop a repel. I'm going to change this eventually, so I do intend to have trainers here. As soon as I add the trainers, I will be removing the obscene encounter rate here. It's not a big dungeon. There is some stuff to do here once you get strength and such. So this is an interesting area. This actually leads to Rainbow Rock, I think is what I'm calling it. Basically, the place where you end up fighting Ho-Oh in the post-game. So you can't actually go past here. There is a Kecleon there, and you need some scope lens to reveal it. Or Devon Scope, whatever you want to call it. Music was changed here fairly recently. It used to just be Goldenrod's theme. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Let me go ahead and reduce the volume a little bit. Oh, you should be able to hear that fine. My volume's down. Okay, so lots of items here. If you weren't out of inventory space before, you might hit that here. So because breeding was removed, if you go to the top of the department store, there is a lady that sells eggs for all the baby Pokemon. How is our party looking? So this is a secret dungeon I added. This is the Trovatopolis sewer. This tile set is revamped by Jay Steen. Used to be pretty ugly. Definitely looks pretty nice now. That pipe is from some RPG Maker tile sets. That is one of mine. And he's gonna give me a Bulbasaur that has the New York Pokemon Center tile moveset, so Ancient Power Bulbasaur. There are some items around here. I think there's a trade stone in here actually. It's just a matter of finding it. Might be it right here? Nope, TM. Ooh, sludge? Or toxic? Sludge bomb. I was going to fly there, but then I thought it would be better to just surf. So the next place you go is going to be in here. So because this is a mid-quote between Gen 1 and Gen 2, I basically wrote some things that I thought might have happened, like that weren't actually in the games, like Lorelei leaving the Elite Four. She does reference the Sevi Islands here. I don't intend to add them at this time. They're just a bit much, and honestly, there wasn't too much. Wasn't really anything interesting with the Sevi Islands. So I just felt like with as many islands as there are in the game already, there just really was no place for the Sevi Islands. So on top of that, I would have to re-add Unknown. So when I do get this on the Ancient Engine, that might be a possibility because Unknown will be in the game files again. But that'll have to wait and see. So. This is a pretty long script. A lot of the stuff that happens in Trovatopolis is extremely wordy. There's, pardon me. So Tracy's overworld here is extremely old. I probably made that overworld about 9 years ago at this point. It's one that I want to redo. It just doesn't look right, so... Anyway, the mayor is corrupt. He is... he imposed a new sailor tax, so you cannot take the ferry to Trovita Island. The reason why you can't surf Trovita Island is canon. It has a lot of whirlpools and stuff around it. It's not really approachable. So you can need a specialized boat to get there. Guidebook reference. So if you actually come here, there's a quiz you can take. I think I recently changed a couple questions here because they didn't really make sense. Okay, so red and blue, he can learn, Rattata can learn water gun. Originally in orange, water gun was a TM because it was a throwback to red and blue, but people were complaining that the TMs really sucked, so they were changed for better ones. And he's going to be strength. So strength, I don't think is required for anything. We'll have to get that changed because it should be important. Okay. So I think it's about time to say goodbye to our Crystal Onyx. He's just not doing... He's not pulling his weight, so... There's another Pokemon in the city we can go ahead and grab. So we'll head back to the school. And it's gonna be this house. You know, playing this, you know, I probably made this town 3 years ago at this point. Around the time the hack won Hack of the Year on Poke Community. I'm really impressed with some of my own writing, just the stuff I came up with on my own. So, Lorelei headed this way, and Tracy told us to meet him up here. I do apologize, this section of the game is extremely wordy, so... Let me go ahead and speed this up. Alright, so this is a battle gauntlet here. You have to fight James, then Jesse, and then you have to fight them both together. So it's 3 fights, they're all extremely tough. There is no healing between these fights. Oh, so it's going to evolve very quickly. So, just today actually, I got a suggestion to maybe add some healing here. Um, because Jesse and James do heal up after the intermission after this fight right here. So I thought that was a good idea, so I am going to probably implement that, because this is a pretty tough gauntlet. I commonly am told that this is probably one of the harder sections of the game when you have to fight Jesse and James, so... Okay, we're not going to be able to do it, that's fine. Go ahead and send out Weeping Bell. And... oops. And Weeping Bell goes down. Meow should be pretty easy. Yep. Okay. He says he just healed back up. Tracy comes in. And they've healed up their entire team, so basically it's just both their teams combined. No changes, obviously. Okay, we were able to get a sleep powder off. We're gonna go ahead and swap to Snorlax. Try to get a belly drum sweep set up. Do we really want Sword Stance, though? I don't think we do. Okay, so here's Snorlax learning Sleep Talk. Now we still don't have Rest. Oh, but there it is. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and rest then. And we'll Sleep Talk. Beautiful. Exactly what we wanted. Okay, so I'm dumb. I forgot rest is 2 turns always, so... And it's just Meowth. Should be extremely easy. Yep. And they are beat. So Sleep Talk actually does not take a PowerPoint from Headbutt, which is awesome. Okay, and there is a fight that you will have to clear for Kanto events to trigger, but for now it is optional. Basically, if you just go back to the trainer school, you can go ahead and fight Lorelei. We don't really need to bother. Like I said, it is optional. So the next gym here is fairly challenging to get to the gym leader himself, because there are 4 trainers you have to fight. And they are supposed to be one after the other for, like, they're looking at each other in 2 rows, so you're supposed to fight 2 of them at once, 2 of them back to back. Does that make sense? But you can cheese it, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because it makes the fight a lot easier once I get there, so I'll show you how to do that real quick. But really annoying maze. People playing on a flash cart. These cut trees are insanely hard to see. That was kind of the point, so it's not going to change. I'm sorry. So most of these maps should have headbutt encounters now. At some point I sat down and actually did those, so everything should have... Let's just test until we get one, actually. Yeah. So every map that has headbutt trees should have encounter now. Here's Misty's second encounter here. After this, you're not going to see her until Kanto, so... We'll have high level 60s, I believe. Okay, so most of these tiles are from Trading Card Game 2, I think. I just thought they looked nice, and then of course you can see remnants of either Faulkner or Claire's gem. Might be both. But anyway, this is what I mean. So you're supposed to walk up here, and then you have to fight them back to back, but you can go ahead and just cheese it by talking to them right here. I might fix that in the future. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of gems in the vanilla game that have cheese like that, so I think it's fine personally. And Dragon Rage is a little useless at level 40, so we're not going to go ahead and learn that. Okay, so we're going to use Sunny Day, of course, which is just going to make my water attacks do absolutely nothing. I think our best bet is just to Thunder Punch him to death. Ice Beam. So, Lapras finally has a somewhat decent move. I guess we'll get rid of Sing. It's pretty bad. Oh, perfect. Thunder Punch that. So this is scripted, so once you actually enter the gym, you can fly back here. I did that so that you can just fly to the gym as soon as you enter the island and skip the entire maze. So once you enter the gym, you can in fact just teleport back. As you can see, Lycanroc having the best of all three worlds for its stats definitely does it some justice here. It is a very strong Pokemon. Fight's a pretty good move. We'll go ahead and learn that. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and try to beat all the trainers. Oh man. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to rely on Snorlax here. Not going to be too effective. Looks like we're not going to get a flinch off. It's unfortunate. Go ahead and rest. And sleep talk. Oh, okay. Well, that'll happen. Anyway, I will show you what I'm talking about. So, now that we've entered the gym, we can just go ahead and fly right back. Wow, okay. This Graveler is not playing nice. But it's frozen, so no worries. And we're gonna get rid of Vine Whip. So Ice Beam is the point that Lapras actually becomes really useful. But unfortunately, you are kind of just stuck with Surf on it. At a certain point, I think I did add the move deleter. I just don't remember where. It might have been back on Moral Island. I'll have to double check. We're gonna heal up because we did get beat up by that. That Graveler was actually insane. Okay. Go ahead and save. Again, this is probably the most underleveled playthrough of Orange I've ever had, because I always check every trainer just to make sure no bugs have cropped up. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, it's gonna use Starmie, so go ahead and die instantly. Great. Just me, or we haven't gotten a headbutt with sleep talk in a while. Of course, it was using double team, so I think all of his Pokemon know double team. That's the TM he gives you when you beat him. Hopefully we don't die in one hit from this thing. We're good. I was gonna send out Golem. We're not gonna be able to do anything about that, so we're gonna pray we can get an Ice Beam off. And it's not gonna be enough. Fuse Ray. Wow. That is extremely unlucky. Okay. Wow, so this is his Alone Executor. I don't know how this is gonna go, because this thing is going to destroy me. Yeah, it's got Dragon Pulse. So yeah, not making this easy for me at all. We are able to tank that. Okay. At this point, we just kind of pray that Charizard can outspeed. Alright. Looks like we're gonna have a little trouble with Rudy. It's fine. He does have all the elemental punches, so decently difficult. Okay, we are able to get Confuse Ray off, which is awesome. If we can hit this, we might be able to one-shot it. Awesome. Okay. So that is going to be Rudy. And we have Venusaur now. So, again, XP All, great addition in my opinion, just because it lets you literally team build on the go. As you see, Ivysaur is pretty much already caught up with the rest of our team in levels, so very easy to swap out Pokemon. Which is the main reason for me doing it, of course. Alright, we are pretty beat up, so why don't we go ahead and just go back to Kino Island. And we will hoof it from Kino. Now you may have noticed Misty gave us that HM earlier, which was Rock Smash. You can't actually skip Rudy. However, they obviously will not let you fight the champion unless you have all 4 badges, so something to keep in mind. But we'll go ahead and teach it to Venusaur, I think. So when I made this island, this was after I came back from a very long hiatus from Orange. And when I had made this island, I intended you to fight Red here later on. So once you get Rock Climb, you come up here. After a certain amount of events in Kanto, Red will actually appear here and you do have to fight him. So he is one of the tougher battles in the game. You're going to start seeing another number of NPCs that I will say you will have to beat later on, but they are optional for now. This is another one. This is Tad. He's from the anime episode that was on Cleopatra. He has a Poliwrath with a belt on it. So, he's another one where you do have to beat him to open up an event in Kanto later on. But until then, he just sits here. Of course, Kanto is not in the current version, so we are not going to bother. We're going to just move on. This is the route you can find Meowth. So this little stretch right here, you can check the grass there. Meowth does appear. So this is a Gauntlet I added. Looks like I actually cut down the amount of trainers you need to fight. Maybe. Anyway, very similar to the last gym we just did. You can just kind of make them fight one by one instead of back to back. I don't think we want to get rid of Metal Claw. Not that there's too many more rock types from here on out. For now. I didn't even see what Pokemon it was. Okay, we're good. He had a lot of Pokemon, so I might want to look at that later on, because these battles do take forever. We're actually going to change some things here, just because this video is dragging. Okay. Okay, so there are 6 trainers here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this out. Let's go ahead. Let's see here. Lapras in front is fine for this guy. Maybe not. There we go. Body Slam is another good one for him. Unfortunately, yeah, I think we can go ahead and get rid of Headbutt at this point. And Body Slam is going to let us sweep. So, pretty good. And it has a bit more accuracy than Headbutt, I believe. And that is going to be Whirlpool, I think. Yeah, that's going to be Whirlpool. And of course, a little Nugget Bridge reference right there. And here we go, Scorpia Island. So, there is a lady here that has a trade. I think this used to be for an Alolan Exeggutor. It has been changed. It's a little OP. So, now it's for a Seal, which I don't believe are attainable up to this point. They will be findable in Kanto. This guy wants to see a Ditto. He'll just give you a powder to put on the Ditto, so... this lady is in her house during the day. During the night, she is missing. Unfortunately, it's not nighttime, and I'm not going to show the event, but there is an event for a very special Pikachu. I was stuck here in development for a very long time. I just lost a lot of motivation for the game. But, you know, when I did pick it back up, got really far, obviously, so I quit for a while, came back to it, scripted this area all the way up to the, you know, just before the town with the 4th gem. Then I lost motivation again. So probably a good year went by before I finished that up. And then I just went straight from the 4th gem all the way to the championship battle. And that's where I picked up in the last few months. So for a while, I was pretty much just on hiatus. But as you can see, of course, now we can get a credit screen. So for me, that's pretty big. This guy gives you a pretty good TM. It's going to be Giga Drain. So, um, I know for me, I like to play with Hoppip in my team because it's my favorite Pokemon. Since Hoppip doesn't have very many offensive moves, it's a great team for Hoppip and its evolutions. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next route here. Now, what you're going to see here is, if I do encounter any of the trainers here, this is where I was basically just trying to blaze through the development. So, a lot of these NPCs lack originality. So, a lot of that drive you saw on Trovitopolis and before before Trovitopolis, a lot of that has just kind of died down. So, I'm kind of at a point where I'm just trying to finish the game. So, I do feel like a lot of my originality is lost. I've been trying to rekindle, obviously, my want to, make a really awesome experience all the way through, but honestly, it's been 5 years at this point. Sometimes it does, sometimes it's just very hard to continue. Obviously, I'm trying my best here, but it's a solo project. I've had help from friends. That help has died down a lot of ways over the years, and then over the years I've gained friends that are helping in other ways. So it's just kind of as I do it. So do appreciate every bit of help I've received along the way. It's just these are probably areas we're gonna have to revisit in the future. Okay. Don't really want to fight you, buddy, with that Pokemon, so send you. He's level 47. It's gonna be a little difficult. Go ahead and try Petal Dance here. Ooh, okay. Petal Dance definitely did the trick. Okay, Confused Ray is really good. It seems to have pretty decent accuracy. So, this is the point where you do get a new water move. It is an HM, and I don't think anybody else can learn it except for Lapras. So, unfortunately, Lapras is going to have to lose another slot for Dive. Body Slam hasn't been too useful, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Snorlax is kind of our Body Slam guy now. And we're going to go ahead and go underwater. So, there are a lot of mandatory fights just in this section here. I currently don't have any other underwater trainers, so this is the only map that has them. Much to Rengi's dismay. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and swap Charizard out since he's feeling a little blue. Alright, perfect. And takedown, we'll certainly take that, so goodbye, Growl. Okay. Yes, Hydro Pump, so that's a little scary. We should be able to finish this off with a Body Slam. Alright. Okay. Cover is really broken. Okay, so I did this for fun. Because you don't have Waterfall yet, there is a item you can grab up here. I think it is, you have to go this way. Otherwise, you cannot get this item until you get Waterfall and come back here. And it's going to be Protect, so nothing big, but yeah, still something. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. Now Leafeon and Glaceon, they work kind of like Diamond and Pearl. There is a stone that you have to basically level up EV around. That is the grotto where you will be able to evolve it to Leafeon. Alright, so 2 more mandatory fights. I'm really hoping Snorlax can just do it. So, let's find out. Very bad sprite will be replaced. Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay. I should probably check out the Pokemon before I continue, because I've lost a lot. I've probably lost a lot of money. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get right back to it, and I'm gonna definitely speed through this for you guys, because obviously it's just a lot of backtracking. Okay. Back here, and didn't have any problem beating it this time with a full team. Poison Jab, really good move. We'll go ahead and get rid of Sludge. He's just gonna do that. Okay, great. I should have swapped out in the first place. Okay. There are gonna be some trainers here. I think I can. Oh, they're all. Oh God. Oh dear God. Okay. Oh. Okay. We were able to get by with only one fight, so... Definitely one of my favorite cities in the game. This is, Kumquat, so... This lady gives you miracle seeds, so really the item I know. I just couldn't think of a better place to put it, so that's where it is. There's a lot going on here. So a lot of these NPCs that you see during the day are not here at night, and there's different NPCs that appear at night. So something to keep in mind. I wanted the city when I made it to be not the largest city as far as size, because Trovitopolis is the largest city, but I wanted it to be the city with the most NPCs, so that was my goal. Game corner. Now there are some coins on the floor. I don't know. So you find the coins. That's fine. You have a coin case. Coin case is really easy to get. You just gotta find a dude that doesn't want to use it anymore. He's gonna be right here. So there's a weird quirk here. I don't know how to fix it, but I tried basically re-implementing the red and blue where you find coins on the ground. You find the coins, but if you hit the A button again here where it was, I don't know if you can hear that, it makes a noise because there's still a script there. And I don't know how to fix that, so just a odd quirk. So unfortunately, at this point, the trainers they have a lot of high level Pokemon, so they all give you a lot of money, and a lot of them are cool trainers. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some Ultra Balls. We're gonna need it for the next segment after the gym here. Okay, so initially if you try just taking the elevator up, it's not going to work. So you have to get an access card, which you will be able to get from that lady in the pool there. So you can choose a side. This is basically Bugsy's gym right here, just this room, it's Bugsy's gym. So I feel like out of all the gyms I made, this is definitely the most interesting because I tried making a gym out of an entire hotel. The original plans for it were a lot grander, I have to say. I think this only has like 3 floors, and it was going to be like 8 or something like that in the original plans I had. But I realized for a gym that would have been a little insane. I forgot these are fairy types in this, so Poison's going to be really good on them. Oh, okay. So Marina is actually from the anime. She was on Kino Island, where you get the skateboard in this. She and Misty basically fight over a Golduck, I think. So that's why she has a Golduck here. But I repurposed her to be a gym trainer here. And she's a water type trainer, so there's a reason she's not the actual gym leader. What a terrible fight. That Starmie is kind of scary. Something I want to do real quick before I continue. So because these stones are available so early, as another option if you wanted like a stronger Pokemon early on. For example, Bloom, Blossom, or Victory Bell. That's an option for you. So I've had Victory Bell carry me through the game plenty of times. Definitely a possibility. Okay, and we'll be able to access the second floor now. Yep. So this was recently rebalanced. In the version I released in February, you had to fight like I think it was 8 trainers or 7 trainers. That has been cut down. So as you can see, a little visual bug here I need to fix. But there were more doors. Now it's only 4 trainers you have to fight. So he just has the entire Tyrogue line. This dude used to have 6 Doduos, so I cut that down. Okay. And one more here. Daggone it. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and try to beat this guy. We should be able to do it even with our crippled team here. Okay, and all that's left now is Luana herself. So, yeah, this was definitely one of the more fun gyms, in my opinion. I think I put way more work into this gym than I could have. So, if you haven't played yet, I do hope you enjoy this section. I would hope you have played if you're watching this video. Again, I apologize if I've gotten really quiet here. It's just a lot of battling and a lot of walking at this point, so I don't have really much to talk about. You're gonna see her sprite here. It used to be really bad. And Anon from the 4chan ROM hacking server went ahead and he updated her sprite for me. So a lot of people had some mixed feelings on the sprite. So I like it personally, but it is pretty massive. So it's not the style I would sprite in, but I really like it personally. So because she has so few Pokemon, I really purposely like made it so that they were all like really high level. So this Alakazam is really scary. So we're gonna have to think of something for him. Jolteon might be able to do it. It's very fast. We're not going to get a freeze, unfortunately. And she's going to spam Hyper Potions. Very fun. So, Alolan Marowak is the default in this game, so it's going to treat it like an Alolan one, so I probably shouldn't have done this. You're not going to be able to do anything either, though. I think our best bet here is to go ahead and revive Lapras. Ancient Power actually did some good damage here, so... Awesome. And the Turtonator... We're gonna... Confuse Ray. And then Wise Beam. Perfect. So I don't know if Shell Trap is actually working as intended. I swear, every time I've seen it, it just doesn't seem to do anything, but I never really understood how the ability worked in Sun and Moon either, so... And that is the Psychic TM. If I can teach it anything, that'd be really good. I don't know about Snorlax learning it, but that would be really good on you. Issue is I have to get rid of Confuse Ray. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, I think for now we'll just skip that. Let Sunny come back too. Okay. So that's all 4 gyms completed. Not too much longer. We do have Victory Road. Okay. Okay, I said I had no originality. Maybe I had a little bit. But she'll teach you a track. That's the move tutor for a track. Just a little side area. So where water encounters are 1% on the overworld, underwater, it's pretty normal. So I would say if you're actively seeking a water type to add to your team, it might be worth checking out the underwater sections. There's King's Rock, if you ever wanted to evolve Slowpoke. I would say Politoed as well, but there will be a Politoed coming up very, very soon, so... And there should be another spot to resurface just here, so... Go ahead and do that real quick. And that's a PP up, so... Fun stuff. Gotta be a hidden item around here. Maybe not. Okay. Maybe there is, and I'm just checking the wrong spots. Okay. And we're back. So, a couple mandatory fights here. Bad idea. So, Snorlax did have Defense Pro when we caught him. We still had it. Blowout might be an actual good choice, but not too good right now, so... Oh, it looks like I can't do Executor. Like I said, because of that bug, it's going to treat it like a dragon type, so... This is going to do times 4 damage. Okay. We're looking pretty bad right now, so... Oh. Well. Ah. Okay. Shouldn't be too difficult. I say that as I get knocked out. Okay, I think we're just gonna fly back at this point. Took a beating off those trainers there. Again, our problem is we're pretty massively underleveled, so... We seem to be catching up, though, honestly. We were a few levels behind the gym leader, but we're fine for these trainers. Okay. He does have a shiny Gyarados. Because Magikarp was gold, I ended up making Gyarados gold as well. I'm probably going to end up reverting this, but it has been in the game for a while, so if you didn't know about it, this is a thing. And that's to show that it was on purpose, it's not a bug. Okay. So Mr. Quack and Poker is on this island. He's from the anime. This is Unnamed Island. Basically, the lore with this place is this is where Magikarp go for mating season. So I actually put the references to this island extremely early in development. And I only recently got to actually add this place, so it's kind of fun being able to make a reference like 3 or 4 years ago and then finally being able to add it. No trainers. I was getting pretty sick of trainer encounters. Down here. Careful, careful. Okay, we're good. Looks like I added a lot of spinners. At least they're not random. They go in just one direction, so. Going here, Team Rocket are not feeling so well, so. Prepare for it to work. Okay. So, it says it grows inside the ponds. There is a Politoad here, so I talk to the Politoad. He hops away. You go to this pond, he's over here. Talk to him again. Hops away. And there is a third pool that he's going to end up being at. Not here. Oops. Got here. Okay, and we're gonna save this because it's a really good Pokemon. We don't want to lose it. And shiny Politoad. I figured I wanted to have my shiny Gyarados, my own spin on it, so this is it. So in the anime, they come to this island and they need a Salveo weed because I think it's Brock and Ash get stun sport or something. So Misty has to go find a Salveo weed, and the Poliwags basically on the island have it. So okay, we're gonna hope this just works. Try to heal ball first. Nope. I think it just nuked itself, so. Okay. Never mind. Screw the Politoad, but it is something to have. If you're wanting a level 50 Pokemon, because you see the other wild Pokemon around here do not have quite the same prowess. Now you come back here with the Salveo weed. And he'll give you Waterfall. Okay. So somebody reported this today. They were saying that there's no way to heal up between Kumquat and Pomelo. That's including Victory Road. But you're supposed to be able to sleep in these beds, so I'll see about getting that fixed. Okay. Originally, the final Tracy fight was supposed to be here. However, I decided not to have Cross's fight here and instead put it in Pomelo. So, you do end up... It's another reason we should have popped that Politoed we would have had something for Waterfall. Because I think the only one who could think of water... Poor Lapras, dude. Oh my god. At least it's not trash. But, looks like we're gonna have to get rid of Confuse Ray. Which I do hate to do because it's such a good move. Okay. Here's Victory Road. Not gonna spoil too much about Victory Road because it's not 100% scripted yet. It won't be until post-game, so... Basically, I'm gonna try to run through this. All the trainers you see here are people that I have dedicated a trainer to from my Discord that have helped me over the years in some way, so... Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to skip them if I can. Ooh! Yeah, shout out to all you people. My favorite Victory Road theme is from Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, first mandatory battle. This is Steppo Blazer. So he's another ROM hacker. He's working on a yellow hack. I think we're good. I don't think we need Fire Blast. So if you were underleveled before, you definitely shouldn't be by the end of this. The trainers are all level 50 Pokemon, so it's pretty difficult. Okay, so the Ascension is pretty interesting. I don't think anyone else has done a Victory Road like this, so very similar, in my opinion, to Mount Coronet from Gen 4. We're going to tread carefully here because there are some trainers. Yep. Well then. That worked out. Watch me get lost in my own Victory Road. Okay, perfect. Okay. So these are the creators of Explorers Through Time. If we can get a hit in. Nice. Okay, that worked out. Ooh, uh-oh. There we go. So for the most part, I had everybody who has a cameo here pick out their team. That's why there's a lot of diversity here. Oh man, I'm terrible. So, EV 1999 is the one that made the sprites for Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, so that's why he says that the way he does. Okay, about halfway through now. We're not looking too healthy, so... Thunder is good. Yeah, let's go ahead and boost Compass. Basically, if they ask for like a second stage Pokemon, I would try to keep its level down. Because they're really tough. Okay. Our trainers here. Ooh. This is where all the random spinners are. Wow. Perfect. Okay. We're almost out. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this is enough. This is the last Tracy fight. Pretty difficult. Another GameCube Pokemon game song here. Eventually want to give this form of Tracy, actually I think he does have a different sprite, so... Yeah, we're very high levels. Very high levels. Okay, it's gonna just do that, so swap out. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's terrible. I think Ampharos is a special defense tank, so just body slam it should. Oh, okay, I guess not. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this then. Okay. If we can hit. Wow. I think we're getting kind of trolled here. There we go. Sorry guys, I know this is taking forever. I am trying to get to the end here. We're really close. Okay, yeah, so I did do a bit of a sprite edit here. Honestly, it doesn't look that good, so might have to revise it, but yeah, that is the final Tracy fight, so there's still another cross fight in the main game before the champion fight, but we're pretty much done now. So again, the reason why I don't have much to comment on this section of the game is because I did it fairly recently, so, and again, like I mentioned before, I was pretty burnt out, so basically just trying to rush to the ending here. So a lot of this is stuff I really want to revise. I actually made this map before a lot of like the top half of the Orange Island, so basically as soon as I made those grassy mountain tiles, this was the first map I made along with Ascorbia, so okay. Alright. Should probably add a sign to the house. That's supposed to be the champion's house. Or maybe it's this one. One of these is the champion's house. Apparently one of these houses doesn't have anybody inside, so I will need to remedy that. Okay. So we did heal up. We're good to go. So after this fight, Cross will completely go AWOL until you do the Ho-Oh side quest in the post game. And there will be some plot, but mostly based off of movie 20. So if you've seen the 20th movie, you'll have an idea of what's going to go on. So look forward to that. And this is one of the tougher fights, of course, because he's got a full roster. At this point, though, I think just the level scaling has caught me up so much that I'm not really going to have any issues beating him. You see, most of my Pokemon have caught up to his levels. And we've been skipping almost every trainer that we can. If you can imagine, if we had fought like every trainer up to this point, we'd probably have like a level 70-something Charizard. Okay. He reveals a little bit about what's going to go on in the post game, but for now we don't worry about him. That has not been added. There's only one last thing to do. Hall of Fame. I thought it would be interesting to make it so you could walk into the Hall of Fame before actually completing the game and making it a place you could revisit. What I would have liked to do is make it so you could actually look at your Hall of Fame team. It's just a little assembly heavy, so I haven't done it, unfortunately. I think I have added the connection to the next route, so let me just check that real quick. Yeah, but they are closed at the moment, and they're talking about pirates, so I should probably change the dialogue because it doesn't sound right. Okie doke. Some people suggested I made like an Elite Four, and it just honestly, the way I have this game paced, one, it wouldn't make sense with the story. Two, wouldn't it just kind of suck after going through honestly what I consider to be the Elite Four, which was, you know, a super hard victory road. You know, do you really feel like we need another Gauntlet here that you have to get through just to fight the champion? And at this point, we have so much post-game plan that the level scaling with an Elite Four here would mean honestly nothing but trouble. So if you don't have the last two gym badges, because they are technically skippable, she'll tell you that you need to go get more gym badges. So this is another one. He has a new sprite. All four of them have new sprites. So this is very old. This is a very old Lance edit. So we will get that in. Just priorities right now. Anyway, this is verbatim his team from the anime. So. Gengar. I don't think we have anything to counter Gengar. You know what we do? Suss to suck. Okay. So honestly, considering that I skipped almost every single trainer and piece of content that I possibly could, for me to win this easily, it feels a little strange. Honestly, it's not like I was significantly like more powerful than him. Like my Pokemon are all pretty underleveled compared to him. It's just, at this point, I have so many tools at my disposal that I could just kind of wipe the floor with him using type advantages. Maybe something I'll address when I make that hard mode I was talking about in the last video, but, wow, okay. That's Drake, so... I think this is literally just an edit of Lance's script. So I literally pulled what I was complaining about in the last video, where from like Valencia to Mandarin Island, it was all just edits of scripts from the original game. This is one of the few maps that was left intact from the original game with Lance's script in here. But I think this is literally just an edit of Lance's script. I didn't want to break anything, because as you can see, some delicate things going on here. Hall of Fame mostly works right. There are some things that aren't showing up right, like forms. I don't know if Pinkin shows up right. Probably not. Okay. Well, that's it. And these credits were probably the hardest thing out of everything from like Kumquat to the champion fight. These credits were probably the hardest thing to add. Honestly, it's been a wild ride with this game, and I still have so much planned for it. This is, I wouldn't even call the main game half of the game. I just have so much planned for the post game. I just hoping I have enough space for it. But yeah, I'm sorry. Like a lot of this video, I feel like I didn't speak much, and it's just so recent. I just don't have much to say about this, but I'm proud of Pokemon Orange. I just want to get it finished at this point, so at this point, if we continue, I don't know if Mom says anything different. Yep, she does. Yeah. So she hints that you have to beat Red before she'll battle you, but we go back to Pomelo. And we go in here. The guard that was over here before is gone. There's the Master Ball. Use it wisely. You left Pomelo to train. So, go in here real quick, and we're going to say goodbye to our Venusaur. Yeah, so this is just an empty house. We need to fix that. But if we go here, there's a Pokeball on this table now. This is Drake's house, so it gives you a Dratini. We did a poll on the Discord about what move this Dratini would have. It is shiny. It was going to have a special move, so the choice is between Hydro Pump, which was a New York Pokemon Center special move set for Dratini, or Extreme Speed. Extreme Speed did win, because it does have Extreme Speed. However, as a consolation for those that voted for Hydro Pump, we went ahead and I added it to Dragonite's move set. It will learn it at level 60, so had it gone the other way, it would have been the same with Extreme Speed. It would have been learned at level 60. And then from here, they went back to their hideout. What does this say? Yep, referencing the Kanto Islands and a cottage. So Metallica Island is an island from the Battle Frontier arc. There's a bunch of bug-type Pokemon there. It's going to be a little bit different in Orange. Steve and Stone from Hoenn we'll have a little summer cottage there, and there will be some fun stuff to do, including remodeling the house while he is away. Looks like I have not added anybody here yet, so no trainers or anything just yet, but it's something that'll be planned. And yeah, we have a lot of work to do. Now, if you kept Lapras this long, there's going to be Lapras's family here. You don't have to give up Lapras, you just show Lapras to them, and you know, they'll be happy and they'll go on their merry little way. However, they won't appear until after you clear out the pirates, so... Doesn't say anything yet. You'll dive here to go to the pirate hideout. And then, continuing... This is Hamlin Island, which hasn't been mapped, so... That's everything. I mean, as of right now, this is everything, so... I know this video has been long. If anyone's watched it all the way up to here, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts. Again, this one probably wasn't as entertaining as the first part, because I was reminiscing a lot more with the first video, so... regardless, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm not going to be making very many videos that are this long, so expect the next video to be much more, much shorter and much more watchable. But I hope you all enjoyed this dev playthrough, and you all have a wonderful rest of your week.